friends. Welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today I am honestly filming this introduction the day after I did the work in the video because I forgot to film an introduction as I was working. So here we are out at the front corner of our property at the corner of two streets and this daunting hillside. And this video is all about how I cleaned it up yesterday. I worked pretty hard at it, and so I think it's looking pretty good. So come along with me and let's take a look at cleaning up this front garden on the corner for spring. I've showed a couple of different times in the videos, various yard tours and things, how I had neglected this front corner and I hadn't really gotten it cleaned up for spring yet. And so it was past time to come out here and tackle it. So with no further ado, let me just jump right into the footage that I shot yesterday and we can see how it came along. There's a lot of cleaning out to do. Over here is actually not as bad as other spots. I've got to get some of this coreopsis out of this shrub. I'm okay if they mingle here, but I have, it looks like gladiolas coming up there that they're going to be too crowded by this lilac to bloom, so maybe I'll move them, maybe I'll leave them. Shasta daisies back here probably want to get more sunny spot. There's a dahlia here that needs to be staked. There are volunteer plants there. I'm not sure exactly what they are. They look like, I don't know what they are, but they're coming out. This spiderwort here is just crowding, and this is a volunteer, and it'll move out. Daylilies, I think that's liatris right there. This is a dahlia, it needs to be staked. All right, so you see all those weeds back in there need to come out. Over the course of the summer, a lot of this lamb's ear is going to come out, but I'm not sure if it's happening today. I do love the flowers, and I don't have anything else to put in their place right now. So maybe I'll let them flower, or maybe I'll pull them out and put in zinnia and cosmos seeds. Not sure. To see how much this is crowding and it needs to be cleaned out. Liatris there. There's more lamb's ear back there, volunteer creeping up in there. Need to get that out. I believe that is echinacea, so that's all right, but it needs to be weeded around. The baptisia is getting ready to bloom, so I just need to weed around it. This is black-eyed Susan, rudbeckia, so I just need to make sure it's weeded. Get all the old plant material from last year off of those gladiolas over there. I got bindweed coming up. I've got grapevines coming up. Need to get those out. Let's see what else. Bindweed all through here. You can see it's really strangling these poor lamb's ears all throughout here. Anything that's bright green in this area, it's all bindweed. So probably should try to get on top of that. Here is a sweet autumn clematis that I'm going to move to the backyard. I've got nice yarrow in here, but there's old plant material from last year that needs to be pulled out. More bindweed. The nepeta is blooming beautifully. This is the first one. I have about 6 or 8 clumps of nepeta in my gardens all around the property, and this is always the first one to bloom because it gets full sun from 9 in the morning until evening, whereas all the other ones get something less than that. So there's just a lot to clean up. Those daisies back there had never gotten cut down, bindweed, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, big cleanup job here to do. Well, I'm super disappointed to see that the 6 dahlias I planted along here, 5 of them are missing. So I don't know if they got eaten, if they got dug up and were a casualty, or what happened. I don't know. I have 1 dahlia left here. That's a bummer. But I still do have the 2 dahlias that returned here and 1 way over there. So such is the gardening life. So for all of these little tiny weeds in here, I pulled out the main bulk of the green parts of them, but there are still some roots left in there. It's mostly clover, a little bit of grass, and who knows what else, chickweed, I guess. So I'm going to use this scuffle hoe to scrape across the soil, and what that does is it cuts off the roots and prevents them from growing back. And it's a really effective way to get spring weeds under control. So let's do that. All right, I haven't weeded by hand back in this area yet, so I'm going to just grab these things out, and then I'll do the scuffle hoe over there just to make sure the roots have been cut off, in case I don't get them all out by hand. Now, the scuffle hoe is not the best tool to use for things that come back from their roots, like bindweed or crabgrass. But for things that come back from seed, the annual weeds like chickweed or clover, things like that, that don't really run underground, it's a perfect way to take care of them. So that's my strategy here. So I have the weeds all uprooted back in this area from here over. And so I'm well on my way to cleaning up this part of the bed. I just have all the rest of it to do. All right, next on the docket is to get that extra lamb's ear out from back here and back here. All right, I'm not sure which of these tools I'm going to need, so I brought them both. Start small and go from there. All right, this liriope and lamb's ear are totally intertwined. I'm going to have to dig up the whole ball, separate them out, and replant. Bummer. I wish I didn't have to do that. I think I'm going to have to sacrifice some of this liriope maybe to get out all... Oh no, did I get it? I think I did. All right, I think I got all of that lamb's ear out of there. So before I replant it, let me make sure I get all the weeds out from around it. Got dandelions and chickweed and who knows what else. That's a deep one. I did not get that root. Bindweed. Let's see if I can get this one out of here without digging up the whole thing around it. Good. I think I got all of that. Oops, sorry, baby. I don't know what I broke. All right, good. So, black-eyed Susans, you can grow uninterrupted. Liriope, you can grow it uninterrupted. Get that out of there, whatever that is. All right, good. Now, I actually want to pull that liriope a little bit forward. So I'm going to dig out all that lamb's ear out of the way so that when I put the liriope back in, it won't have any competition from that lamb's ear. So let me do that. Sorry, babes. Okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with these plants other than they're too aggressive for this space in my garden, and I don't want them here. So they're beautiful though. I love the flowers on them. They're very healthy. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to offer these up on my neighborhood email list for free. I'm just going to set them out here on the sidewalk, and I'll put it up the thing that says there's free lamb's ear, come get it. And in order to make them actually live for the people who come get them, I want the biggest, most intact root ball I can get. So I'm going to do a better job than I originally planned at getting this out of here. And I have a sedum here and a liriope. I really want those plants, so I need to take care right here. Well, I wasn't planning to dig this all out today, but maybe I'll do a little more than I planned. I have one Rudbeckia here that seems to be somewhat connected here, so I'll try to leave that in. I want to leave the daffodils and take out the lamb's ear. Before I lose my trowel, let me get that out of here. Oh, and I need to replant these liriope before I forget, so let me put them right here. can see how much clay is in this soil. It's really terrible soil out here. It's about 1 inch of good soil on top. That's from the mulch we've been putting in every year. I really should go get some biotone to put in this hole, and while I'm at it, I should get a little bit of compost. Maybe. Okay, now let's get this liriope into the ground. Let's put some biotone in there and some compost. And then it'll be happy, happy, happy. All right, please be happy there. All right, should I move either of these plants? Maybe I should move the sedum. But let me get this lamb's ear out of here. Oh, look what I found. You were going to be a little devil, weren't you? Okay, and how about you, Black-Eyed Susan? You want to mingle with the liriope? Okay, you can do that. While I have this compost here, I'm going to spread some more around this baptisia because it was planted a little too high last year. So I'm going to give it some love. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to stop. I like having the lamb's ear in this garden, and I like having it down here on this corner. But I do want to get it out of where it's invading all these other plants. I'll get some of that out over there too. But yeah, I don't mind having this little corner of it. So you can see the huge pile of it that I have up here on the sidewalk that I'm going to be offering to my neighbors for free plants to see if they want any of those. I'm also going to see if I can get some of this bindweed out of here. I'm not kidding myself. I know I'm not going to get it all, and I'll still be fighting it. But if I can get it off before the flower stalks really go into bloom, then the flowers will be prettier. So I think that's my next task. Now that all of that lamb's ear is out of there, it's not choking everything in here. I've got a huge space here. This is like 10 feet long from this edge of the lamb's ear up to the nepeta right there. That's about 10 feet, maybe 8 feet. And so I've got a lot of room here that I could put in cosmos or zinnias or anything else that I feel like I want to put out here. I will be putting some mulch out here. We don't typically do a lot of watering out here, so anything I put out here has to be able to deal with just rainwater as its only source of watering. I mean, once in July or maybe once or twice I'll come out and throw some water on here if it's looking really, really parched. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. And then we have all of these plants. That's like 3 feet deep and 8 feet long, full of lamb's ear. And I already had one neighbor stop by and say she wants some of it. So after she comes and gets what she wants, then I'll post on our neighborhood group that they can come and get some more. All right, I think I am going to move this sedum away from that liriope. And there's a liriope back there that I think I'm going to pull down and be with the rest of this, and there's some over here too. So I think I'll put that one from up there. I'll put it kind of right behind this daffodil, so that it kind of ties all these not liriope. I've been saying liriope this whole time. Liatris. Yeah! This is all Liatris, blazing star. So anyway, I'll have this kind of a meandering swath of Liatris here. That's a coneflower. These are all Black-Eyed Susan Rudbeckia's beautiful baptisia getting ready to bloom. It's a yellow one. And I think I will get that spiderwort out of there. I might pull down those daisies more into this front area also. I do have daisies over there too though, so I don't want to get them too close, but I might dig some of those out and divide them up and spread them around. I don't know, do some rearranging. But first I want to get all the cleanup done before I start playing. Don't start playing yet, Jenny. Okay, back to work. Okay, so this is the Sweet Autumn Clematis. I didn't get much of a root ball, so I'm not sure if this is going to live or die, but I'm going to go ahead and plant it and give it its best shot. I mean, it is a native, actually it's not native, but it's invasive which means it's probably tenacious, which means it'll probably live, especially if I get these roots into the ground. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Also, because I didn't get all the roots out, I'm pretty sure it's going to come back. So I'll have to get after it again. All right, I want this on the fence in the backyard. I don't want this on the slope in the front yard. All right, I am nearing the end of what I'm willing to do with my time today. Let's go look over here. All right, at the top of the hill up there, kind of in the shadows, you may be able to see the old gray stems of the daisies from last year that are growing up from the ground, and the new daisies are coming in underneath them, and the daylilies are kind of taking over. And then over on this side, right here, the gladiolus foliage from last year is still up in there. There's also bindweed, there's also some grapevine and other like vining weeds. So I think I'm going to go up behind this stand of daffodils right there and work on those daisies, and then I think I'm going to call it done here because it's looking pretty darn good actually. I do have an erosion problem down here on the bottom. I'm trying to think of what I could plant along the sidewalk here that would keep the soil up on the hill and not coming down onto the sidewalk. If you have any ideas, let me know. I mean, the lamb's ears would do it, but I don't want lamb's ear there. So if you have ideas for hot, dry, slope, ground cover, erosion control, please let me know. But yeah, I think I'm going to go up in there and work on those daisies, and then I'm going to call it done. All right, so I think I've made really good progress on cleaning up this bed today. There's a lot of nice plants back in there. I just need to rearrange these things. So when I planted this, these trees were smaller and that shrub was much smaller. And now, of course, 4 or 5 years later, things are growing and things are mingling and really nicely, but a little bit of rearrangement is necessary. I have some things I want to pull forward. I have some things I want to thin out. But as far as cleanup and getting out weeds and last year's dead growth, that job is done. So I think I'm done for today, but I still have work to do out here. Thanks so much for joining me today here at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. It's been a job, but it's a job done. So how is spring cleanup going at your garden? Are you working on chores like this too? How are your perennials doing? Are they coming back? Have you found some volunteers? Are you rearranging? Are you offering things up to your neighbors? Put some comments in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you and find out what's happening in your garden. Or better yet, send me a link to your Instagram or your Facebook or something like that, and maybe we can share. Or certainly if you have a YouTube channel, let me know what that is. And yeah, I hope you'll come back and visit us again soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful gardening day, friends. Thanks. Bye-bye.